The relief among Hereford's supporters and players was evident, but Torquay will be a little disappointed with the way they defended when there was potentially so much at stake. They had enough players on hand to clear the danger, but Agana reacted quickest. Neither side created much in the way of match-winning chances in the final half hour, although Jack continued to pose a serious threat on the break. But, as it turned out, a point was enough to ensure the Gulls lived to fight another day in Division 3.
Grinded out a 1-1 draw, and we're mathematically safe, which I'm delighted about. We've reached our 50-point target. It's been a long time coming, too long for my liking, but to be fair, today I thought we deserved our point. I was delighted with our first half performance. I thought we played well, we battled hard, we worked hard, and we got the vital goal. And I was disappointed with the goal that we conceded. I felt, you know, it should have been cleared. And it's been a problem that we've had this year. And, you know, it allows them back in the game and unnecessarily putting ourselves under pressure. But we stuck at the task and we grinded out a draw, which I'm pleased about. It's nice to relax. So obviously, you know, to know that we are safe now, it's pleasing. But I am disappointed overall because, you know, with the great start that we had to the season, that we failed to build on it, and we've wasted a lot of time really, especially since Christmas, and we've put ourselves in this position which really we shouldn't have been. But to be fair, to the lads' credit, they've stuck at it. You know, we've come away. You know, our away form has looked really good over the last few weeks. All I want now is for us to go home and put on a performance and hopefully get a result for our supporters.
So, Torquay totally safe at the bottom, but the waiting goes on for Exeter. Hartlepool's away win and draws for Hereford and Brighton still leaves them dangerously close to the trapdoor into the conference. So that's it for another week. Hope you've enjoyed the programme. United's home campaign ended in disappointment. They were beaten 3-0 by Wigan, the goals described by Seth Conway.
Sharp and Martinez wait. It's going to be Sharp to deliver. Looking for Greenall. Comes through to Jones, and it's in! Wigan take the lead. And Graham Jones has to score it, doesn't he? In it comes. The flick comes over, and it's number 2. And it has to be Graham Jones, doesn't it? He takes a salute of the crowd because he scored again, his second of the game. Jones wants it in the middle. It's going to come towards him, over the top to Diaz, and that's 3-0. The Spaniard, Isidro Diaz, gets the Wigan third goal. He was the top scorer in the league last season. He's grabbed their third today.
And the ICS League, Heybridge 0, Yeovil 0 in the Dock.
Good news of that, plus rallying, rugby and diving. Here's Natalie.
Thank you, Roger. Hello, good evening. The chairman of Torquay United Football Club is resigning and looking for someone to buy the club from him. Mike Bateson will stand down at the end of this season. He says he's totally disillusioned with the football scene.
Hello, birdies.
The parrot-breeding millionaire took over at Plainmoor in 1990 and invested £1.3 million in the third division club. He says football's changed for the worst in the past 7 years. That and a barrage of insults from fans during Saturday's 3-0 defeat at the hands of Wigan have prompted him to call it a day.
There's a lot of personal abuse. The family suffers from the abuse side of it, and you do have to say, is it worth it? I mean, I know it's an old chestnut, but if you're getting paid for things, you can maybe put up with the abuse, but we don't get paid for it.
Today, staff and supporters were shocked and saddened by his decision to quit.
Very disappointed. I can understand the amount of abuse that he's taken over the last 2 or 3 years, and his family, who I get on extremely well with. Feel very, very sorry for them.
It's not a case of Mike going really, it's a case of what's going to come in, what's going to happen. Are we going to have the same sort of leadership?
I've obviously been at the club 2 years now, 2 seasons, and we've had a good working relationship. I am disappointed, yeah, it's a shock to me.
Yeah.
But Mike Bateson says he won't leave the club in the lurch and will be holding on to his 82.6% shareholding until a suitable buyer comes along. He says it'll take a certain type of person to make a good Torquay chairman.
I think mentally unbalanced is helpful, and a fairly large bank account is exceedingly helpful, and thick skin, probably a rich rhinoceros.
He's insistent that he will be standing down from his role at the helm as soon as possible. Well, staying with football, and Exeter City's manager Peter Fox looks like bringing a few changes for next
For
week.
themselves, and Trina Lake monitored just how they fared.
Torquay's hopes of improving on a dismal record of just one win in the final 18 games of the season took an early knock when Simon Ireland put Doncaster ahead with just 8 minutes gone. Dodgy defending from a quickly taken free kick left rookie goalkeeper Matthew Gregg exposed, and Ireland needed no second invitation. Things went from bad to worse 4 minutes later as Doncaster pressed home their advantage, and Torquay head coach Kevin Hodges was left questioning the commitment of some of his players. Gaping holes in the Gulls' defence gave Martin McDonald far too much time and space, but his shot would have been pretty harmless without a wicked deflection. Wayne Thomas, the unlucky defender, with a touch that completely wrong-footed Gregg. With an eye to the future, Hodges introduced a few more of his promising youngsters into the fray in the second half, and their contribution must have given him a degree of optimism. Wayne Hockley had been on the field for only a couple of minutes as a replacement for Andy McFarlane when he made his presence felt. A strong run and shot that goalkeeper Gary O'Connor could only parry, and there was Tony Beddoe to force home the loose ball. Hockley so close to claiming his first league goal, but Beddoe beat him to it, duly rewarded for his tireless effort up front. That set up a grandstand finish, with Gregg joining in the action at a corner in true Peter Schmeichel style. But sadly, a fairy tale equaliser just wasn't in the script.
Our first half performance resembled a little bit of end of season. You know, it was a hot day. You know, it was a little bit inept in the first half, and I was disappointed with some of the attitudes. But second half, we put a few of the young kids on, and they changed the game for us, and we could quite easily come away with a result today.
How do you reflect on this season?
With disappointment, really, because there was so much promise at the start of the season. We started very, very well. We were up amongst the front runners. We managed to beat Fulham home and away. And on a number of occasions, we've given good accounts of ourselves. But football's about winning. And we haven't got enough winners at the club at the moment. And hopefully during the summer months, we might be able to do something about it.
And we'll be taking a look at how that result affected in the bottom four, and plenty of team rebuilding to be done for both Peter Fox and Kevin Hodges in the next few months. Thankfully, though, they're staying in the league. It's Hereford who'll be playing in the conference next season after only managing a draw in their relegation decider against Brighton. Despite conceding a first-half goal, the South Coast side ensured their Football League survival with a late equaliser. Both sides finish level on points, but Hereford go down because they've scored fewer goals.